pimps, power, and pretty ladies. This is Blax History Month, a 28-day celebration of black exploitation films. Up until now on Blax History Month, I've talked about movies dealing with several serious issues like drugs, the criminal underworld, and corruption. But none of those movies so far has dealt with an underlying message quite as deep as Trick Baby. Trick Baby was based on a book of the same name written by Iceberg Slim, a near mythological man whose real name was Robert Beck. Beck was a former pimp who wrote several books, some of which were about his own exploits. If the pimp image was influenced most by anybody, it would be Iceberg Slim. What's a trick baby, you ask? Well, by definition, it's a baby born to a prostitute whose father was a John, or Trick, or client, or whatever you want to call a customer. And what does that have to do with the movie Trick Baby? Well, Kill Martin plays the character White Folks. He was born to a black prostitute and a white trick, so technically, he's biracial, and also a trick baby, which he's reminded of constantly. And before you say anything, yeah, I know, it's clear the actor is a straight up white man, but I think that's kind of the joke. He was raised by a con man named Blue Howard, portrayed by Mel Stewart. Blue taught white folks everything he knows about the con man game, and because white folks can pass as a white guy, they have a system set up where Blue can easily con black people, and white folks can use his complexion to con white people. The movie has pretty powerful commentary on what it means to be a black man who can pass for white, and how it feels to not really fit in anywhere. I like that it's kind of left up in the air whether white folks' origin story is even true. Majority of the black people in the movie don't even believe white folks is really black, including Blue's own girlfriend.
I still don't believe he's a nigga. I ain't never heard of no white trick baby so square he try to pass for black.
Speaking of Blue's girlfriend, I stared at her for like 15 minutes thinking to myself, where do I know this girl from? Then it hit me. This is Vernee Watson, aka Will Smith's mother on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This was only her second movie, and she was a cold piece in 1972. But back to Blue and White Folks. They pull a con on a guy who ends up having a heart attack when he realizes he's out of $10,000. But unknown to our con men, this guy was tied to the mob, and they want revenge when they learn what it was that led to his death. On top of that, there's a cop who's working with the mob to identify Blue and White Folks, but he also wants a cut to stay quiet. Then on top of all that, a known hustler who runs the town also wants a cut of their money for operating in his territory, because everybody in town knows they're con men for some reason. So basically, they need another bigger con to make more money than they're spending on hush money, and to potentially get out for good. I like Trick Baby, because unlike a lot of movies during this era, there's some real tension and suspense. Every time you think Blue and White Folks are gonna get away with something, there's another setback. Like when they go to con this random guy with a briefcase on the street for money. Everything almost goes to plan. That is until the guy decides that he and Blue should just shoot white folks and take the money for themselves to screw the white man. They have to improvise at the last minute and decide it's better to just run.
God damn.
It's not a perfect movie. Like towards the end, it seems to lose focus, and our characters take an unnecessary detour from the main story that feels like padding. That's minor though, and I was genuinely surprised and caught off guard by the ending. I think the ending alone is worth a watch, but on top of that, you're getting a smartly told story about racism, class, loyalty, and identity. And that's no con.